I might have to just really punch up the vibrancy of whatever it is that I paint. Lola, are you watching yourself? Hi everyone, my name is Emmy Klein and I am an artist here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, this is a painting series where I am attempting to finish the Pantone Postcard Painting Challenge, where you paint 100 postcards in 100 days. Now that challenge, as presented by Big Blue Tang, originally I would fail at miserably. So this is a slightly modified version of it to make sure that I don't fail miserably, as well as make it a little bit more challenging and fun for me. Now, all of that aside, and I'm sorry this is slightly complicated, but this week has already passed for me. I am future me, recording this for a past video as of me today. But for you watching, you're about to watch the week that I had. Last week for me, right now. Does that make sense? Anywho, so I forgot to film this portion of the video. With that being said, and so that we can continue the math of how many days I have left before I go to my residency, as of Monday of the week that you're about to watch, this is how many days I have left before I leave for my residency in France. Also, side note, you're about to see this whole outfit and me just like this for the next video, because I have to film that today. Whoops! Now, I did do all those cards. I know what you're about to watch, and I don't want to give anything away, but I will say, did I laugh a lot? Yes, I did. Did I cry a little? Yes, I did. I also had a mild panic attack, so enjoy. So we started off on Wednesday, rolling the die, and landed on 6, which is my wild card category, and oh my gosh, I was so excited to pull out this striking purple, because it is just that. It's such a pretty color that it totally inspired what I painted, which, as you can see, I am sketching in right here, and hopefully you guys are gonna start getting some disco vibes, because that is what I was painting, a disco ball. Now, the reference photo that I used, of course, every single one of those is in the links are going to be in the description below for you to check out. Now, this ball already had that kind of purpley color, but it had these really fun pops of reds and blues, and you can see I'm laying down a large chunk of color because a lot of those colors were kind of peeking through the different mirror shapes that were, on the disco ball, but those were like around them. So I just wanted to lay those tones down before I painted the little squares on top. And as I laid down that, kind of chunk of color as my basis, I more or less lost my drawing and was a little worried that it wasn't going to quite line up, but I think I did pretty well. Now, I'm gonna stop yapping and let you guys just enjoy the rest of this painting. And then it was Friday, so y'all know, back in the studio. Also, I ended up finally figuring out the best way to film these. So I had moved my camera around, so guys, I hope you don't mind. I think it's a little bit better here, but I rolled 3. Of course, that's animal, and I pulled out this really fun green card. Now this one, I decided to go a little bit more fantastical, a little bit more fun, and kind of play around with it, and oh my gosh, I had so much fun. So I tried to keep the greens in the background kind of part of the landscape. As you can see, I'm building up my layers as I usually do here. Now this painting, I more or less kind of broke apart into 3 chunks. I did the background landscape kind of area first. Then, as you can see, I'm painting in a cow. So I kind of tackled the cow as a whole in my second kind of stage. And then if you can see those shapes above the cow, those are butterfly wings. So this is not just a cow, this is a flutter moo or a butter cow. Whatever you really want to call it, this is where your butter comes from. Now, before I jump off of here and let you guys just enjoy the time lapse, I did want to mention when I was painting the butterfly wings, there's some really beautiful colors in there, with some really bright yellows and some lovely blues. But when I was painting this, I had picked my limited palette just so I could kind of, keep it cohesive. And I had to resist that urge to pop those in, just because I feel like if I had done that, I felt like it would have felt a little bit more detached and not actually part of, the flutter moo. So I'm going to jump off of here and let you guys just enjoy the rest of this time lapse. This one did take me quite a lot longer than most of the others, but it was a much more complicated image, so enjoy. Was Saturday, so I rolled the die and I rolled my favorite subject. I was I think trying to calm myself down a little bit, but yeah, that's abstract. Clearly, as you can see, I was so excited to get started that I procrastinated for an extremely long time. But this particular painting came after I actually had a abstract landscape artist on my show for my day job. So I decided to draw inspiration from his work methods and kind of how he approached things. And, if you guys caught the show, it was Bob Tomanovich, which, if you are not aware of his artwork, is absolutely stunning. The piece that I do here is still nowhere near the incredible like level of art that this man can do, but it definitely, approaching it like his style, made it far more enjoyable. And I mean, I know you guys might not consider this abstract, but don't come at me. This is what happened. So I grabbed my book on Saturday still and rolled the die again, because you know I needed to get these done. And I rolled my actual favorite subject, which is food. I'm a foodie, I can't help it. And then I pulled this incredibly pretty card out, and you know what? I went on an adventure. Alright, so as you guys just saw, I rolled food. An extremely pink card. And I also have a dog staring at me right now. Hold on. Alright. I guess this is how we're doing these things. So it's pretty bright. But it is about dinner time, which might be why this one's getting a little antsy. It's not time yet. Don't even. I'm gonna go get dinner and something really pink from the grocery store. Alright, so I'm officially at the grocery store, and something that did not occur to me is that it's almost dinner time, and so the parking lot is packed. So, not sure how much filming I'm gonna do in there, because wow, this is awkward. Oh, someone's pulling up. Yeah, that was awkward as hell. So, just a little side note, like I do live shows all of the time. I'm constantly being filmed and do videos. I don't vlog in public. This is awkward as all get out. So, also, this is the first time I've taken one of these cards out, like, in public, and it's bending. I don't know why. I guess it might be a little humid today. I don't know. It'll bend right back, I'm sure, but, if you notice, it's a little bent when I go to paint it. That's why. Alright, more people are coming. Oh, God. So my first stop were the berries, of course. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but the color on the card leaned so much towards blue that's where I was kind of having a problem. The strawberries, the raspberries are all too orangey red, where like that dragon fruit was probably the closest, except for that pomegranate. Pomegranate was pretty on point. So was the watermelon, not gonna lie. As well as bologna, oddly enough, and this cake. But whatever it was that I bought, I mean, I was gonna eat, and, you know, I'm not eating bologna. Now, side note, I left this in. This was awful. Just wait for it. Oh my gosh. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Yeah, but that was awful. I never want to do that again. Probably will, because I'm gonna have to. But awful. I spilled a mousse. A chocolate mousse. And the panic that set in after the chocolate mousse thing was bad. So yeah, that was not pleasant, but I did this for you. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are appreciating this. This terrible thing. All right, people are coming in. Oh God, I'm gonna go home now and go paint. So hallelujah, back in the sanctity of my studio, where, you know, no one can see me. Pomegranate obviously won. Now, I feel like you guys can probably see the color difference between the card and the pomegranate a little bit better in this setting. You know, I feel like my lights were a little bit better. But you can see just how blue that card is. So, I mean, there are areas of the pomegranate that had that kind of sparkling through, but it wasn't a huge chunk of it. So I was still trying to build up those reds for the shadows where it has a lot more of the purples and blues in it. But then my highlights had that more of that blue tone, and I felt like that was the best way to kind of make it look cohesive with the card. Now, pomegranates also have that little like, it's not technically the stem part because that's the bottom of it, so the butt of the pomegranate, the little part that sticks out, that had a lot more greens and funky kind of colors that ended up kind of transitioning into the reds. So I had a lot of fun working those colors in, and that actually was the part that I drew inspiration from for the background that I end up putting in, because I did want to put in those shadows that I had, you know, to kind of ground it on the postcard. But also, after I did that, I realized it needed some kind of a background to carve out the shape of that pomegranate from, you know, its surroundings. So I ended up using the yellow ochre, which I think worked really, really well. So if you've been counting, this is now my 5th card, and I'm rolling the die. Yeah, that's abstract, ladies and gents. And I did pull out this really fun kind of chocolatey card. Now, in case you were wondering, this is where I'm telling myself this is fine. This is fine. Kind of like that meme where the dog is sitting in a room and everything's on fire. This is fine. But I got on with it, you know, had to. Now this one I decided to go a little bit different and mixed media, of course. And, the drawing of the grid was definitely going to be boring, so I shortened that. And here is where I am testing out my gloss medium that I used, as well as the glass beads. I just wanted to make sure that the glue was going to kind of adhere to them. But I did realize that the adhesive was like an opaque white, which is why I took a scratch tool and scratched out those dots, because it's really, really subtle for me to see where that grid lies. But if I had not done that, that gloss gel, while it's still wet, is a pretty, you know, white kind of color, and I would have never seen the grid. So I got all my little glass beads all laid out and decided to just shove it off to this, shove it, no, not there, oh gosh, shove it this way for it to dry. Now, whilst that is drying, I decided we might as well do a 6th card, bonus card, and I landed on 6, even better. And even better than that is the fact that I pulled out a card named Tiger Lily. How adorable is that? So, all that being said, I actually took my time to make a sketch, figure out what I was going to draw, and I even slept. I actually slept, y'all. But I decided to do this really adorable little mushroom character. And it was, yes, obviously Sunday morning. But I wanted to keep the original card color as the top of the mushroom. And the body of the mushroom character is mostly that Jaune Brilliant. Now I used the burnt sienna, and you'll see a little bit of Prussian blue I pop in here to make kind of a purple for the shadow areas. But for the highlights, I tried to mix in a little bit of that yellow with the Jaune Brilliant for, you know, some indication of light, just to give it a little bit more of a 3D effect. Now, I ended up mixing in those purples for the background, as well as a combination of that yellow and Prussian blue for my greens of the background, and I kept that pretty loose and, you know, no crisp lines back there to indicate almost like it was like a blurred photo. And then the further I got up towards where the mushroom is actually standing, I got crisper lines and put more definition in like the little tufts of grass that were here and there, as well as the little sticks that he was standing next to. Although I said he, maybe it's a girl. Maybe it's a non-binary tiger lily mushroom. I don't know. I didn't ask what they identify as. Anywho. I did at the end, though, go over the edges of the little mushroomy person character thing with a waterproof pen, just to define kind of the outline of, you know, the body and everything. Now, I also did that for a couple of the foreground things like the stick and a little bit of the grass, just to kind of give it some continuity. But there's my little mushroom person, Tiger Lily, the fierce mushroom warrior. So I had to push old Tiger Lily off to the side, and now my abstract card was officially dry. Now those glass beads, because I fully coated them in the gloss gel, they were stuck on there. And I really wanted to make sure that they were, as well as fully dry before I tried to paint them. So my palette was still wet from painting Tiger Lily, so I just used whatever colors I had there. I made a purple and attempted to like dry brush the top, and you probably saw there I had a Posca marker because I was like, ooh, what if I gild it? Posca didn't really look great, so I ended up using this stuff, which is similar to a rub and buff, if you've ever seen that, which is usually meant for frames. But it is activated with solvent, which, you know, is how I get it kind of moving. Now I cannot tell you whether or not this is archival or it will stand the test of time or anything, but it was, again, just an experiment and me playing with media and seeing what happened when I, you know, did this. But is it my favorite? Also, no. It's cool though. I mean, look at that. It's got the texture. It's something different. So that was my week though. Thank you so much for watching if you made it to the end of the video, and of course make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and I will see you guys next time.